Imagine walking into a pharmacy, scanning the rows of neatly organized pills and bottles, and feeling a sense of reassurance. After all, these are the products that promise to heal us, to relieve pain, to extend our lives. But what if I told you that behind these shelves lies a multi-billion-dollar machine, one that doesn't just influence your health, but controls almost every aspect of your life? Welcome to the world of Big Pharma, a world where profits reign supreme, and the lines between care and commerce blur in ways most of us could never imagine. The pharmaceutical industry generates over $1 trillion a year globally. Yes, you heard that right. Trillions. But how does it amass such unimaginable wealth? Let's peel back the layers and uncover a system designed to keep you dependent, to keep you spending, and to keep the truth hidden. It starts with research. Pharmaceutical companies love to flaunt their role as pioneers of medical innovation. They claim to invest billions in developing life-saving drugs, and on the surface, it's hard to argue with that. But here's the catch. Much of the foundational research for new drugs is funded not by private corporations, but by taxpayers. That's right. Governments and public institutions lay the groundwork, while Big Pharma swoops in, patents the findings, and rakes in the profits. The next time you see a life-saving medication priced beyond reach, ask yourself, who paid for its discovery? Now let's talk about patents. In the world of pharmaceuticals, patents are everything. They grant companies exclusive rights to produce and sell a drug for up to 20 years, allowing them to set sky-high prices without fear of competition. Take insulin, for example. This life-saving drug has been around for over a century, yet prices have skyrocketed in recent decades. Why? Because Big Pharma has continually tweaked the formula just enough to extend its patents, ensuring that cheaper generic alternatives never hit the market. This isn't innovation, it's exploitation, but it doesn't stop there. Once a drug hits the market, the real game begins: marketing. You might think doctors prescribe medications based solely on science and patient need. Think again. Pharmaceutical companies spend billions each year on aggressive marketing campaigns, not just targeting consumers, but doctors themselves. Free lunches, luxury conferences, and even direct cash payments are all tools used to influence prescribing habits. It's a system so pervasive that many doctors may not even realize how much they've been influenced. And for those who resist, let's just say, Big Pharma has ways of ensuring compliance. Take the opioid crisis as a case study. In the 1990s, Purdue Pharma launched an aggressive campaign to promote OxyContin, a powerful painkiller. They downplayed its addictive potential, flooded the market, and incentivized doctors to prescribe it liberally. The result? A nationwide epidemic of addiction and overdose deaths that continues to this day. And while Purdue Pharma eventually faced lawsuits and public outrage, they weren't the only players in the game. The opioid crisis wasn't an accident. It was the predictable outcome of a profit-driven industry. Then there's the issue of drug pricing. Have you ever wondered why medications cost so much more in the US than in other countries? The answer lies in lobbying. Big Pharma spends more on lobbying than any other industry, ensuring that Congress remains firmly in its pocket. The result? Laws that protect high prices and block attempts to import cheaper drugs from abroad. In 2022 alone, pharmaceutical companies spent over $350 million lobbying US lawmakers. That's more than oil, defense, and tech combined. When you see a $500 price tag on a pill, you're not just paying for the medication, you're paying for the industry's influence over your government. But Big Pharma's reach extends far beyond Washington. It's in your TV, your social media, even your doctor's office. Ever notice how many drug ads dominate primetime television? Ask your doctor if metformin is right for you. these ads don't just sell products, they sell diseases. By convincing you that everyday feelings of sadness or anxiety require medication, they turn normal human experiences into lifelong medical conditions. It's a strategy that's not just manipulative, but incredibly effective. After all, who wouldn't want a pill to solve their problems? But what happens when these pills cause harm? Pharmaceutical companies are no strangers to scandals involving dangerous side effects and fraudulent practices. From Vioxx, a painkiller linked to thousands of heart attacks, to Zantac, recalled for cancer-causing contaminants, the list of controversies is long and damning. And while companies often face lawsuits, the settlements they pay are a drop in the bucket compared to their profits. For Big Pharma, a $1 billion fine is just the cost of doing business. One of the most insidious aspects of Big Pharma's control is its influence over medical education and research. Many medical schools and journals rely on funding from pharmaceutical companies, creating an environment where corporate interests can shape scientific discourse. This means that the very people tasked with healing us are often taught using materials influenced by those who prioritize profit over patient care. Even clinical trials, the gold standard of medical research, are often designed and funded by the companies that stand to benefit from their outcomes. Can we really trust the results? And let's not forget global health. In poorer countries, where access to medicine is a matter of life and death, Big Pharma's profit-driven model becomes even more glaring. Take the HIV/AIDS epidemic, for example. For years, pharmaceutical companies blocked the production of cheaper generic drugs, prioritizing profits over saving lives. It was only after intense public pressure that some barriers were lifted, but the damage had already been done. Now, you might be wondering, what's the alternative? Surely we need pharmaceutical companies to develop new drugs and push the boundaries of medicine. And that's true to an extent. But does innovation have to come at such a high cost? Critics argue that a more transparent and publicly funded model could achieve the same results without the greed. Imagine a system where the primary goal is health, not wealth. It might sound utopian, but some countries have already made strides in this direction. Why not us? As we peel back the layers of Big Pharma's control, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just about healthcare. It's about power. Power to influence laws, to shape public opinion, to dictate the very way we live our lives. It's a system so deeply entrenched that challenging it feels almost impossible. But awareness is the first step. The more we understand the mechanisms of control, the better equipped we are to demand change. So, the next time you see a drug commercial or hear about a new breakthrough medication, ask yourself, who benefits? Whose interests are being served? Because in the world of Big Pharma, the answers are rarely as straightforward as they seem. And as long as this industry operates in the shadows, controlling not just our health, but our very lives, the questions will keep coming. After all, the truth has a way of coming out.